Hello, trading has closed on March 28th, 2022. Let's start with our disclaimer as we always do. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, March 29th. Remember, it's my plan, I can be wrong. Any trade you make should be at your own risk. We had a few calls. Look for the pattern with the early low. Tends to be a rally day with a high in the final hour. So we got that. Tomorrow should also have the early low. We had a target 45.12.47. We said unless we gap up smartly, that was favored to print. We didn't gap up smartly, and even though we came within a few points, it did not print. That's a failed target. We have to add it to the list. We also get to cross another target off the list, 45.53.19. From February 10th. It isn't only a target, it's resistance, so we have resistance right there, and then we broke through resistance. We now have three targets, counting the one from today, which didn't print, and we had two targets from all of last year. So in the last 15 months, we have 5 targets we still haven't seen, and one of these eventually should print since one's higher and one's lower. As far as ultimate targets, we get about one failure every 2 or 3 years. So there's a pretty good chance for both of these prices will print ultimately. They just don't have to print anytime soon. During the day, MEJT said all these squiggles were false. Price would be traced, that's already happened. It did give a buy signal in the afternoon, and that worked. We're over this demarked TDST line. Resistance extends to a whole bar past the line, so we could even trade over it tomorrow. We'd have to break higher than that bar to break through resistance. So you're at resistance, but it doesn't mean you won't go higher. We also said we had a great setup for a major top. We said if it were going to work, it should be obvious by the early morning. We thought we should gap down sharply, undercut this low. We said if we gapped up, the bulls won, and I said if we overtook this high by any significant amount, the whole idea was suspect. Here's what we said. Suspicious of the count, even without a gap. So it's hard to say if this moving down 8 points is a clear gap down. At one time, 8 points was quite a lot. Now it's not even 1/4%. But in any event, once you overtook this, that idea was pretty much killed. We're still trying to see if we've completed wave green C. Till we break this with authority, it's always possible there's some other way to count this, but if you're a bull, today was very good news. This was the setup we had. If we reversed from here, it was a perfect top, and usually when you have a perfect top and the market ignores it, it means that it's not going to give you another chance right away. It means higher prices will print, even if they don't print immediately. So we have to go with this as the working count, that we've completed wave green C down and a whole new bull leg is beginning. But it's not the only way to count this. And you really have to clear this high with authority before you can be 100% certain. But as far as today's action is concerned, that looks pretty bullish. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. We could still gap up. We broke through major resistance. Usually that means there's more upside to come. We do need to trace to penny we do need to trade a penny past today's close for confirmation. If we gap down hard tomorrow, this doesn't count. We don't have to close higher tomorrow, but that should happen more often than not. The market may gap down, and it's a may. Despite this, is the final bar for the hallmark of panic and buying, just a straight line move up. Gapping down isn't a lock, but it should happen probably at least half the time. The odds have increased. We've completed wave green C down, and a new bull market lies ahead. However, until the year's highs fall with conviction, other interpretations remain possible. So we had a major formation which was compatible with this ending, a 61.8% retrace. We blew through it, and regardless of what happens tomorrow, usually it means this isn't the end of the rally. And that's today's call.